Hello and welcome to Leviathan News. Today is February 21st. I'm your host, Sam McCulloch, and I'm joined here with DeFi Advisoor. What's up, sir?
What's up? What's up? How are you guys?
Good. Yeah. So today we can celebrate. We finally have on Benjiman from QiDAO with some good news.
Yeah, man. You guys have me on so much. I might have to start paying rent. No, we have great news.
We should be starting to pay you.
Right. No, we have probably the best news you can have, right, as a stablecoin. After so many months of strategizing and DAO talks, we finally were able to repay all of the bad debt on Polygon, which didn't come from us at all. It came basically from the main bridge on Fantom being hacked. Might do $10 soon. I see the comments coming in. But yeah, so there's no more bad debt on Polygon. The whole chain can now resume normal operations. We've already started seeing people minting we've started to see the peg come back up on Polygon. So yeah, it looks like we're back in business, guys.
That's great.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. So just to recap for everybody, the Fantom supply was drastically affected by the multi-chain hack, and unfortunately it ended up creating a lot of bad debt for the protocol. How much was there exactly?
So that was minted on Fantom was 8 million. Think about it. We were the largest stable coin on Fantom by a long shot, and so then when the main bridge got hacked, everything went to zero. And so despite our liquidation system being really good, if everything goes to zero in a block, you're kind of screwed, right? And so all of that became bad debt, and MAI is fungible. So like you can mint it on one chain and then take it to another. And so if you think about it, I minted a MAI on Fantom and then I bridge it to Optimism. And then, the debt that's on Fantom goes to zero. Well, the MAI that's bridged to Optimism also goes to zero. And so if you're holding MAI on Optimism, that's a problem because now you're commingled with a bunch of MAIs that are not that good.
Yeah. And you guys were able to eventually shut off the bridge and prevent some of that bad debt from flowing back, right?
Well, yeah. So we were able to shut bridging immediately because, QiDAO has always had this like canonical bridging structure, which allows to limit the flows. And so, yeah, immediately the bridging was stopped. The only issue was that there wasn't enough done to limit how much was outflow from Fantom. So too much MAI that was minted on Fantom had been bridged away. And that's not good because you don't really want that. And so we have been talking for these last couple of months about how to restructure that because obviously we have to go back to being a cross-chain stablecoin eventually. And the way we figured it out is basically we came out with a ratio that tracks how much natively minted MAI there is on each chain and how much externally minted MAI there is on exchange. And that's a function of the circulating supply to the total debt on each chain. And I think when we go back, it's probably going to be like 10%. So like only 10% of the MAIs on a chain can come from other chains. Obviously, this needs to be voted on. But then worst case scenario, you can always say, okay, there's not that much bad debt risk from other chains.
Yeah. Is Fantom dead?
If you had asked me this 2 weeks ago, I might have said yes. Because think about it, everything died, like everything, right? You think of Spooky, you think of Scream, Liquid Driver, QiDAO. We were like the bedrocks of DeFi on Fantom. And in one day, it seemed like it was all gone, which is a shame, right? At one point, we had 250 mil of TVL just on Fantom. But at the end of the day, so this week, that's what I said 2 weeks ago. recently I've started to hear a little bit more about Fantom. The whole process, the legal process in Singapore to get money back is actually going pretty well. As you know, like USCC, like Circle, Tether, Binance, Coinbase, and I think one more exchange hacked about 80-90% of all the funds that were taken by the hackers. And so if that can be returned, we're basically back on Fantom as well. And I've been told that that's coming along.
Did they? So just to go over the multi-chain stuff again, we covered it pretty in depth last year. It looks like there was an arrest of the founder, and they tried to by the Chinese police, and they tried to extract the private keys from him. I believe they were able to take some part, and he essentially just disappeared for an unknown amount of time. I don't know if he's actually released yet again. During that time period, oh, he's not. He's still out. He's still not out. During that time period, his wife, I believe, was sister was also arrested, and she was in possession of the private keys that controlled all of multi-chain. And the Chinese police then rugged the $100 million out of there, and no idea where it went. It's very opaque how this is all playing out. You would think with some sort of national or federal authorities, there would be a evidentiary trail that could be followed, or some way to clear this through the judicial system. But apparently it's all gone. And, there's been some reclamations like you're talking about, but just a very unfortunate situation.
Yeah, I mean, what's most unfortunate to me is that you have companies like Circle and Tether, which tell the market that the reason they're safer is that they can stop hackers, right? They can blacklist them, they can take their money. Circle has never returned money to anyone.
Really?
They just take money. They just take money from hacks and they keep it because that's how they make money. They make money on the float. And it's a real shame because I would call that theft. A lot of people would call that theft. Now, QiDAO didn't have any USDC or any Tether. It was a lot of BTC, a lot of ETH. That's kind of what was lost. Thankfully, a lot of that also was recovered in Binance and all this stuff, because it looks like the Chinese police, right? They weren't really savvy on they didn't know, right, that this could be they could be blacklisted or their funds could be frozen on Binance, and because of that, that gave enough room for good actors to block them.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, Circle's going to wave its hands and say oh, we're just holding this. We just need a police report and a judicial
exactly.
The funds need to be returned.
It's a process. It just takes 250 years.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Well, Singapore, what's it called? The court already said that Fantom is I forget the legal term, but basically it's a creditor, and it's owed the money that Circle, Tether, and Coinbase have. And so that's huge because it's basically saying, hey, that's money, it's ours. Next step is claiming it back. But as DeFi Advisoor said, this stuff is annoyingly slow.
Yeah, and it's on purpose, you know what I mean? This is not
yeah, they're making 5% a year.
To be slow. Yeah, it's the whole point. We have a specific there's a specific name, I think, for this in Hebrew, but it's their business logic. That's what I'm saying, basically.
Yeah.
I know it's not.
It's a built-in feature. It's not a.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bug. It's a feature, not a bug, like they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the knock-on effects too. I mean, we recently talked about the Hector DAO kind of continuous rug that's been happening.
Oh, yeah. I even forgot about that name. That's crazy.
Yeah. And just, Fantom looked like it was very promising at the time, but it just had this one linchpin, unfortunately, that took the whole network out with it, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it's a real shame. I mean, Mai had a better peg than DAI that year. Think about that. And then this happened, right? But luckily Fantom also has Andre. I mean, like him or not, the guy has good ideas.
True.
And Yeah, so I think that there might be a comeback. Who knows, right? Who knows? I can't say everything in public, but I do think that there might be good things coming on Phantom.
What's the TVL on Phantom these days, by the way? Like, what's even going on there?
Let me check.
I'll check
It's
for you
not a
right now.
lot.
And by the way, Benjamin, are you guys where are you guys deployed these days? Also,
So we're deployed on like all the big chains like Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, Ethereum, Linea, zkVM. Linea, zkVM were new. Scroll is coming as well. Fractal is coming as well.
you're going to Fractal as well. I saw something.
Yeah, so like we deployed on Base as a test, right? Because all this really bad stuff had happened on Phantom, and we wanted to know, what is the trust in QiDAO's code base? Do people really still want to put money in it? And the answer is yes. So we're the largest stablecoin, like CDP stablecoin on Base. People have 100% demand for our loans. As soon as there's a debt ceiling, it's gone in a couple of blocks. And so I think the market understands that what happened on Phantom wasn't related to our code base, and they're willing to keep using it. And so with that, we're gonna take it to Linear, Scroll, and Fractal, deploy there and grow.
Do you can you give us like a builder's view on all these cross-chain ecosystems? Like, what are the positives of working with each, and how do you guys differentiate between all of them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pain. There's so many L2s, and so there might not all last. Maybe not all of them will last like a whole market. But from our point of view as a stable coin, we need to scale. We need to scale revenue, and we need to scale TVL. So we have to look at unique features of each chain and why each chain is going to be bullish. There are many chains that we're not going to deploy on, L2s, that I probably should name because then marketing is going to get mad at me. But like there are a couple, like for example, Fractal. Fractal is going to be incentivizing people that deposit on my. So any like collateral deposits are going to be incentivized with airdrop points. And then anybody that integrates my is going to be incentivized with airdrop points. So it would be stupid not to launch. Also, it's Frax, a team that we've been collaborating with on maybe 10 plus chains so far. So that's pretty bullish. Then you have things like Linea. One of our founders is ex-Consensus, and we have a great relationship with Linea. And same case there. Any deposits on QiDAO will get airdrop points. And then Scroll, that's alpha for another day. But there's a lot of these opportunities, and if they're good enough and we think it's going to have a meaningful impact on our protocol, then we'll deploy there. Because everybody needs this. And sorry for rambling on, but everybody needs a stablecoin that's native to their chain, because Compound and Aave forks are not going to cut it, right? These people go to these L2s and they just add a bunch of blue chip assets because they're forks, right? They're not going to be innovating on oracles. Meanwhile, you have QiDAO adding curve LPs, adding urine strategies, beefy strategies. And over the years, we've proven that we can do so without having our oracles hacked. And that's very important because people want to borrow against assets that they really like. That's one reason. Another thing is the cost of capital. You can't just rely on people bridging USDC and putting it in your Compound fork in order for loans to work. Because what's going to happen is when liquidity mining rewards are there, there's going to be really cheap lending. It's going to be negative interest lending. It's great. But the second that stops, suddenly you're paying 40% to borrow against your token. And the only way for you to pay back is to sell your token, which is a very vicious cycle. And so that's exactly what QiDAO is offering to these L2s.
Yeah, I think the just tens of thousands of L2s that we're going to see in the near future is going to be just incredible. And but for a cross-chain protocol like yourselves, it really comes down to how do we pick and choose where we're going to go. And I'm sure incentives matter a lot. Fractal, which you mentioned, is going to have good incentives. Maybe some of the other ones like Scroll and Linea as well too, are providing incentives as well.
Also, and for how
the
long?
Thing is, QiDAO has done a really good job over the years of getting airdrops, and that's because we've unlocked this really underrated strategy of just being nice people. And what we're doing in this cycle is we're gonna harness that ability to get airdrops and just forward it all to users. And so if you're using QiDAO on any of these new L2s, the idea is gonna be that if QiDAO gets an airdrop, which we usually do, 80, maybe 100% of the airdrop is gonna go to people that provide a TVL. And so that I think is gonna be pretty huge. Because people want airdrops, people want tokens. We can talk about whether that's sustainable, 20 years from now. But this is the crypto business right now. It's people wanting airdrops, it's people wanting to farm, testing out new chains. That's just their reality.
Yeah, and the race is on, that's for sure. Like, and those who will know how to capitalize on it will for sure earn a lot. But I am interested in like, like what does the protocol do if all of a sudden, like, I don't know, you expand to like 20, 30 chains, and then a year or 2 years after that, they become like ghost towns. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So this is something
and it
Vitalik
really
brought up,
seems like
actually.
it's going to happen, It really seems like with all these new L2s, it really seems like a lot of this stuff is just going to come and go.
Yeah, I mean, look at Moon River and look at
Yeah.
Moonbeam, right? Sorry, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I mean, like these networks will come and go. I think the question that I wanted to pose to you then would be that, looking back on QiDAO's TVL in the last cycle, it peaked around 350 million according to DeFi Llama, and this might be another cycle for you guys and having a big run up. How do you guys handle that from a, I guess, treasury perspective this time? So, at the height of, like it's always 2020 looking back, of course, but at the height when you had $350 million TVL, like, could there have been certain treasury decisions that could have been made that would have helped offset some of the, I guess, bad weather, bad times that came later on?
Yeah, dude, hindsight is 2020. I think that's the term. Yeah, I think we're gonna be more active with our treasury. Luckily, we were pretty good with the treasury. Right now, it's sitting at 7 mil, which I think is a very healthy treasury, especially when you consider that our FTV is 5 mil. So it's pretty freaking healthy. I think what we can do more is be our own whale. There's a lot of barriers to growth on these L2s, and the biggest one is counterparty liquidity. People that are minting stable coins don't want to keep them, and there's not enough people that want to hold stable coins. Well, QiDAO has a crap ton of stable coins, and so we can be our own counterparty to a very great extent on a lot of chains. And there are other things, like we have a lot of OP, we have a lot of ARB, we have a lot of beefy, and we can farm all of that. In fact, we've, like, as a protocol, the protocol has made way more money on farming those tokens and on the appreciation of the tokens than anything else. Like, literally, you can make all you want on loans, but then OP, which is half of our treasury, doubles in size. Like, that's really a significant cash inflow.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, is the market really right? I mean, like, from a token perspective, I mean, your fully diluted market cap is 6 million, but there's $7 million in the treasury. It just doesn't really make sense.
Well, it's like many things to that. One is that information asymmetry, right? We're depegged and people are scared. They probably seen something about Phantom, but they really haven't read into it. And that's just how people make decisions. And there's nothing you can do about that other than, for us, fixing the peg and growing TVL. Now, something that's really cool, we have a lot of really cool Flywheel stuff coming to QiDAO. Obviously, all of the fees across all of the chains go to our governance token stakers. So right now, this year, we've done 45 ETH worth of distributions, and it's like not even 2 months in. And then all these airdrops I was talking to you about. So if you're depositing tokens into QiDAO contracts on these new L2s, you will be earning points, and this is going to be released later on. You'll be earning points towards airdrop like allocations. But if you have Qi locks on Ethereum on our BPT, you will get boosted. And so it's not, you don't have to do it. You can still get your points. But if you have cheat token, then you can get boosted. I see points with a lot of question marks. Yes. So many points. This is like a new meta. This is not even points. This is like farming airdrops you didn't even know existed. Because everybody's on Eigenlayer, everyone's on the airdrops, everyone's farming. But QiDAO is the master of airdrops. And we're gonna unlock airdrops that nobody even knew you could farm. And I think that's gonna be pretty bullish.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the fractal situation plays out with how you guys can earn some points over there.
Yeah, that's the test ground. That's the test one. We'll see how the market reacts. Luckily, the team is amazing. And so they're really helpful in onboarding. And I mean, when have you ever heard of a stablecoin team incentivizing with airdrop another stablecoin team? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. I think it's opening soon. I think
it's already mainnet, and our contracts are going live by ETH Denver. So including the point system. So we'll be probably announcing it at the Fractal event in Denver.
Yeah, I saw some links today about like, here's a link that I saw, like the fractal authentication. So to connect and then sign some messages and bridge over.
So bullish, man.
I know. Do you guys have anything that you're announcing at ETH Denver?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you have anything that you're announcing in ETH Denver?
Yeah, so obviously like the fractal points, we already been leaking it a little bit, but the like big full-on announcement is gonna be there. Yeah, I think I don't know what I can say. Marketing is really not gonna be happy with me, but there's a lot of research being done about reactive interest rates. So if my depegs, how does that affect how much you pay to borrow my? And so that's something that may be out by Denver as well.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Are you guys going to Denver?
Yeah, we are going. I'm going to Denver. Yeah.
Nice. We need a Leviathan. I can't pronounce
meetup?
it, but yeah, Leviathan meetup. We need it.
I think we're putting something together. I'm talking with Garrett about it. So, and I think there's interest from the Squid Cave to come and have a meetup.
Perfect.
Yeah. You guys had some great merch last year.
Us?
Yeah.
Really? Did we have merch? Oh, we have the NFT scavenger hunt. I think we had the best stickers, like by far. Amazing stickers of all of our partners. This year, we're gonna have 3D printed goggles, like different like the Nouns goggles. Well, there's gonna be for everybody. Like there's gonna be a Frax one, a Wormhole one, a QiDAO one. And there's some like cool games coming up with it. So excited about this swag stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. So looking back on Polygon, your like core and first place, like how do you go forward with them? Like what are you looking at them with?
Yeah, so Polygon obviously is an interesting situation. POS is like, I mean, let's be honest, right? Like everybody's focusing on the L2s. There's not a lot of focus on Polygon, at least with farmers. But we do have a big loyal following on Polygon that says, look, this chain works. It's been working. We don't want to go to all these new chains and chase yield. We just want to kind of use what we believe in. And so, yeah, we're focusing on how we can improve the deployment for them. Right now, it's like about 20 million TVL there, which is still obviously the largest stablecoin there. What we're gonna do is migrate everybody to V2. So everybody's on V1. Those are the vaults that only charge 0.5% repayment fee. The goal is to get everybody on the V2 vaults, where you can either choose to pay performance fee or you can pay interest rate. And what that will do is it would automatically like 20x the revenue on Polygon, which will all go to my holders. So that creates a nice little contained flywheel, just like the contained flywheel we have on Ethereum.
That's cool. Well, this might be the turning point then.
Yeah, no, I think that at least on POS, this is really a huge turnaround, and I am pretty bullish about it. And also on Ethereum, we're already at $1. We have a big Frax My pool coming live today. I haven't been as bullish on QiDAO as I am right now in the last couple of months.
And for anybody that wants to scoop up some like cheap MI still, like, is there still that possibility?
Obviously not financial advice because there's a lot that goes into it, but I do think that Polygon we're pretty what's it called? Like there's like some arbs to be done there. Because MI will repeg on Polygon. Whether we have to increase interest rates to 1,000,000%, you know, like there will be an equilibrium for MI there. Trust me, we won't leave it at 90 cents. And obviously, depending on the DAO, but I think that there's ample will across the whole community to do whatever it takes to bring it back to $1.
Yeah.
How much MI is there on Polygon, by the way?
On Polygon is 5 mil, 5.2 mil, something like this.
Yeah. So anybody with like outstanding loans there could buy it up on the cheap still, which they should have
It's the
done.
last chance. The
Last
bus
chance.
is leaving. Yeah, they should have done it when we had the first interview back in 70-cent MI. But the bus is leaving. The ship is sailing. You know, get your cheap MI while it's still out there. Not financial advice, of course.
Well, cool. I'm super glad that you guys have gotten everything wrapped up, and we're looking forward to seeing how things play out over the next 6 months. Hopefully,
yeah, likewise. Hopefully, next time I'm here,
here,
we're celebrating a Billy TVL, and MI is worth $10. I'm getting out my
That's for sure.
Well, cool. Everybody, come and join the Squid Cave. It's we'll have a link in the Telegram channel or on Twitter as well too, and make sure to follow Benjiman as well too. He's at Benjiman918_. And yeah, and also DeFi Advisoor, thanks for being here today, man.
Thank you as always, man. Good conversation. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for coming, Benjamin. By the way, really wish you guys a lot of luck over there. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. And honestly, I'm so curious about, there's so many stable coins and so many layer 2s. I'm really curious about how this all like comes together. Like how much is it gonna be we're all in this together versus
well, ask Alvin. I think at certain size, at certain size people get PvP. You look at what's happening with Morpho and Ave. But QiDAO is not like that. I think it depends on what the founders like, what the goals of the founders are. If it's to like flip a nice raise from VCs, then yeah, they're gonna be pretty PvP. But I think 3 years of QiDAO have shown that we're not PvP players.
I'd agree with that. Yeah. Well, cool. Benjiman, thanks for being here today, DeFi Advisoor, and everybody at home. We will see you back. If not tomorrow, then on Friday we will have a llama party. I know Garrett's putting something together. Yeah. So anybody
hope to have something.
Hope
to have something for tomorrow, of course, as well. Let's see if we can manage to pull it off. And by the way, Sam, you uploaded it to the pods. You want to remind the audience that they can mint it?
Oh yeah. We'll have this up as a free mint today on pods as well too. That's cool. Actually pretty cool. We've got 2 NFTs that you can mint now. So one for the first one, and then yesterday's as well too. So you can go to Pods Media and check out the episodes that we have there. You can find us at Leviathan News. It should go. Here we go. And then we have the yesterday's Gearbox, and then also the interview with Colin Platt as well too. So yesterday's was actually free mint, and the Colin Platt one, I believe it was like $1. Come check it out. I think if you mint it, there might be some RPGF grant rewards that come in the future. We just saw the Super Chain OP round 4 go yesterday, and so they were rewarding NFT holders.
QiDAO did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're one of the largest NFT collections on Optimism.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because all of our vaults are NFTs.
Right. I didn't.
Yeah. That was really
Oh my god,
nice
I'm just thinking about JPEGs.
Yeah.
Does it show in the
Yeah.
treasury yet?
Right.
Man, I'm so
Is
out
this
of
it?
it.
This 200,000? Is this it?
No, that's from before.
Oh, it's
That's
from before.
I mean, it's not that much either. But whoever deployed the Uniswap LP contracts, they should check their wallet.
Very cool.
I
Well,
mean, it's artistic. Okay, money can be artistic.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. Go check your wallets, and thanks for being here, Benjiman, and we will see you guys tomorrow.